Oh, hi, my name's Honorary Professor Dr. Geraldine Akerman. I'm the Chair of the Division of Forensic Psychology, and I've worked for the prison service for nearly 23 years. So we want on this channel, Let's Talk Forensic Psychology, to talk a bit about what forensic psychologists do, and what we do in our different roles, and how we might work in different settings. So my colleagues Laura, Emily and Kate will introduce themselves in a moment and talk about what they work in different settings and explain what they do. So forensic psychologists tend to work with people who've committed crime, and that could be the people who perpetrate the crime or the victims, so it could be either. So we work in that area trying to help those people to understand why they've done what they've done. And psychology itself is a study of sort of the mind and behaviour. So we're looking to see what were you thinking, what was happening at the time when you committed the offence, and then how did you act as a response to that. So that's what we'd be always trying to help the person we're working with to understand. We also work a lot with staff in the setting I work in. I work in a prison, so I work with staff to support them listening to some of the material they listen to by having to listen to the offences. And so we work with them to try to think about how that impacts on them and make sure that they're not too negatively impacted by that. So I'll hand over to Laura now, and she's going to introduce herself.
So I've worked in prisons, probation, and in the NHS secure hospitals, also working with people who have committed offences. I've worked there for the past 14 years now. This channel is all about thinking how psychologists work, what the role of psychology can be in these types of settings. We've thought a lot about how to talk about psychology, what sets forensic psychologists apart, perhaps in different roles. So we work within interventions, we work helping people think about why they've committed certain crimes. We work in assessment, where we're thinking about the risks people pose to other people. That can be a big part of our role, thinking about cultural aspects of risk assessment, using particular psychological tools to think about risk with people. We work a lot in research. We try to evaluate why these things happen, how this sort of thing happens, how research influences what we do as psychologists. We work in training other professionals. We also do a lot of work with consultancy, and that would be, helping people think in a psychologically informed way in these settings that we work in. I'm going to see what Emily has to say about that.
Thanks, Laura. Hi, I am Emily Jones. I'm a trainee forensic psychologist, and I'm currently working in a therapeutic community prison. I have been a trainee for coming up to 2 years now, and have been working in the prison service for the past 6 years. So I'm hoping that on this lovely channel, I can share some of my knowledge and share about my journey into becoming a trainee psychologist, and hopefully the journey to becoming qualified very soon. So I will hand over now to my fellow curly-haired psychologist, Kate.
Hi, my name is Kate. I'm a BPS chartered and HCPC registered forensic psychologist. I currently work in a complex needs service in a young offenders institution, a prison in England, with 18 to 21-year-old young adult men. Similar to what my colleagues have shared, we're really passionate about sharing knowledge about our work. And me in particular, I'm also very passionate about the rehabilitation of people who offend. So my hope for this channel is that we'll kind of share some of the knowledge and speak to some of the experts in the field to try and understand why people may commit offences, and some of the things that might help people desist from offending in the future. And we'd really love to hear from you. If you've got any questions, if you'd like to hear about certain topics that you're really keen or interested in, please do get in touch, leave some comments, get in touch with us on Twitter, get in touch with us on our LinkedIn page as well. And hopefully we hope that this channel will help demystify some of the reasons why people might offend.
So thank you all for watching, and leaves us one thing left to say. Let's talk forensic psychology.